First of all, I heard my voice, therefore it's a little bit strange. I hope you can still understand me okay enough. If not, just ask back. So, welcome to today's final workshop of the DEcent project. It was a very interesting project where we had the corona in the middle of that. And anyways, we have great results, and therefore I'm really happy today that we can present the results to a little bit bigger audience and showcase a bit what we did in the past 3 years. On this slide, we see the project duration, and we also see the partner logos and, of course, our funding organizations, so the Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy and Business Finland. So thanks to them, and also a big thanks to the PTJ. Fabio Lenzner is here with us today for the great management of the project. It was really a pleasure working with you. Thanks a lot. So for today, we have the following agenda planned. So we are in the middle of the welcome, and afterwards we look at the use cases and the system architecture. Then we look at the identified challenges and solutions, starting with the IoT substrate interfacing the hardware and the example of a battery. Then we look at AI for modeling and optimization of the energy exchanges, and local management. Then we look at the trading agent, a central component of our system and the value forming across multiple markets. Then we look at market and market clearing and mechanisms related to that one as a central mechanism for exchanging energy. And finally, we look at security enablers as a last building block that will be showcased today there. Then at 3 o'clock, we have planned to show a demonstration of the co-simulation that I will also mention in the project description that will just follow. And then we have the results on dissemination and communication, and the closing at 3:30. So we have 2.5 hours of highlights ahead of us. As it's really long, when you have questions, don't wait until the end. Just ask the questions right away when the questions come. Okay, good. So everything started with the Förderbescheid. So this was in August 2018 on the German side, and from that on, it went fast. So we had very nice project meetings at the different partners as planned. And I especially wanted to show the pictures here because projects are always about people. And this project was particularly nice because we really created a very nice group. And it's a big pleasure having worked with all of you. And therefore, I'm a little bit sad, of course, that the project is ending. On the other hand, I'm very happy that we achieved such great results that we will be presenting today. Okay, so 2019, everything was still okay, and then 2020 came, and the global COVID-19 pandemic that nobody anticipated before, and of course, this was the end of our physical project meetings, but nevertheless, we coped very well because we had then virtual meetings, but of course, this made it more difficult because we were especially in a phase there where we wanted to do integration workshops of the different partner technologies in the joint demonstrator. This became more difficult, but as we will see today, we still the team managed to create a great virtual demonstrator nevertheless and achieve wonderful results. At the end, after October 2020, I just put multiple pictures because we really had a lot of meetings for organizing the demonstrator, getting results, and so on. So what was the goal of the project? So the project was very timely and even is still timely because it's still a super hot topic. It's about, we have neighborhoods. In the neighborhoods, we have decentralized energy consumption and production. And how can we use ICT to leverage the effect of locally using energy for different positive effects like resilience, energy saving, and so on. And that it was timely also came with seeing that there came a little bit publications in that direction. There were projects that were also going in that direction. And so it was very nice to see that we were really at the forefront of what was currently done in the research domain. The idea of the project was to have a virtual smart neighborhood as central entity in the project. and around that develop different aspects, of course, technical solutions, but also business models and legal recommendations. The smart neighborhoods that we had in mind are these that we have here, and I'm very happy that in the project, through the different partners, we had also physical neighborhoods, so real houses with real data, through partners in Germany and through partners in Finland, that we could use then as co-simulation in the virtual joint demonstrator site. I just quickly want to remind us on the objectives, not going into detail. So we wanted to look at how can we enable cross-commodity energy management. We wanted to look at how can we have real-time secure integrated management of this energy based on the infrastructure shown before. We wanted to look at how can machine learning, AI technologies for adaptive cross-commodity flexibility management help us to find solutions there. How can they help to have better effect of the methods that we were developing? We looked at blockchain and smart contracts for connecting these households in the smart neighborhood. We looked at business models, so how can value be taken from such an infrastructure that is not yet present today? We looked also at, okay, what are inhibitors that are currently there from the policymaker side that make it difficult to implement something like that, and which ones would be good to change maybe. And finally, the joint asset, as shown before, was the virtual smart neighborhood that enables the piloting of the tools and the mechanisms that we will see later today in the presentation. The work plan was as follows, with the most important thing being the iteration at the bottom. And due to the corona, this did not go as we had planned originally, with lots of meetings and so on, but instead virtually. Therefore, it was good that we virtually wanted to connect all this, because it a little bit was in our plan already. But anyways, it would of course have been much nicer to meet the people and work much more on that. Okay, so without further ado, I just wanted to briefly recap the project setting, and that brings me and us directly to the second part. And I hand over to fortiss and BTT for the use cases and system architecture.